Crafting Club, Crafting Club. We're all gonna craft at Kevin's Crafting Club. Hello! Whoa, graphics, amazing. I'm really good at this already. My name is Kevin, and if you're here, you've been sent here by the algorithm or you follow me on social media. I'm assuming you maybe like crafts or like crocheting. I have been posting my mediocre crochet for a while now, and I just wanted to start a new video series this year where it's long form, it's also anti algorithm, which it might not work, let's be honest, but something more chill because Instagram, TikTok, it's all very like quick and fast. And I wanted to do something where I just sat and I chatted with you because people have been saying that. They've been like, well, I would love to just sit and craft with you and like crochet or knit and just chat. And like, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do once a week. It's also like an accountability thing. So you can make whatever craft you want. It's not exclusive to crochet. This is inclusive to all crafters or just all people. If you just want to sit and have something um, in the background playing, or if you want to watch, I don't know how, I'm not going to do fancy edits or anything like that. So it's just going to be me talking for like 10 to 15 minutes and crafting. And and every month I thought, because if I post it once a week, maybe every month we could have a theme. And by the end of the month, we have something to go into the next month with. So since this is January, I thought our theme could be love. Says the single guy. But February is the month of Valentine's Day, so it's like, why don't we make something fun for Valentine's Day? You can tell me what you're making. I have not posted this video yet, but I did a Joann's haul and I found this yarn. It's like chunky and it reminds me of like maybe the 80s and it's very like pink. And so I thought I would make a scarf out of it. I don't know how you all like to do this, but I like to pull the middle out because and find the center because I don't like spinning the yarn around. But I am going to make a scarf because that's like one of the only things I can make. People have asked me to do tutorials, and I go, I don't think that's a good idea, y'all. I am not good at crochet. I just like it and I have a good time at it. But if you want to paint, if you want to, I don't even decoupage. Do y'all decoupage? Please feel free. And I would love if you guys could send it to me somehow, and then we can all like look at each other's work, which would be fun. The progress and the final projects by the end of the month. But again, I don't know how you would do that. How do you send me pictures? Should I post an email? I don't even know. So you are, like I said, this is like anti-algorithm because I don't want to make a video that's long form, that's like usual YouTube fare that's like, hey everybody, cut, 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 you know, like I did a million things today and then it's just like pictures and all of that editing. I just don't want to do that. But if you look back far enough on my Instagram, you'll see that I used to do that. I was actually a very early adopter of YouTube. You'll see my first video posted on my YouTube page is a song called the Zac Efron song. Yes, because I loved Zac Efron, and I posted it in 2007. It looks like I posted it like New Year's Eve for some reason, 2007. Maybe I was like trying to like follow my dreams and become insta famous. I mean, that was like as it was starting, all of like social media. But I was an early adopter of that and then did a lot of YouTube. And that's how I became a filmmaker, really, because I predominantly am a television actor and writer. I used to be a stage actor as well, but I got out of the Broadway world because I was doing 8 shows a week on Broadway and I was like, my body hurts because I am middle aged. I am coming into middle age and I am really tired. Does this feel long enough for a scarf? I'm not even counting. That's why I can only do a scarf too, because as I'm talking, I can't count. So I have to do like really simple projects. So I was a Broadway actor for many years, and then at the same time, I had started my YouTube page, and I was doing funny songs. And through that, I learned how to edit. I learned how to write. I learned how to film and use the camera. And then I, through that, started making web series. And then through that, I started writing for television. And that is how I've come to this place. And what's interesting about now being on social media is that I tried that like back in 2007 and 2008, and I have succeeded and failed in many ways. And so now I am back, but I didn't come back willingly. Like I had friends that were like, you really should do social media. And I was like, I tried it. I was doing YouTube before everyone else was doing YouTube. And I wasn't successful. And then I was stuck in that story. But the algorithm has changed where things really get pushed now. And so at the end of 2003, I think, 2003, I don't even know what year it is anymore. The end of 2023, I started posting videos and reels again, just being like, it's never going to work. And then it started to work. Y'all, it started to work. So it's like, never give up. I guess never give up, but also sometimes give up and then just take a break. Because I took a long break from social media. I didn't take advantage of the pandemic. That's where a lot of my friends went viral, is like because everybody had a captive audience. This is really long for a scarf. Is that too long? Oh. I also want to say I'm using my new Furls crochet like wooden hook, which was given to me. This is the first time, and I love it. I feel like it's very artisanal. Like I feel like I'm a hipster in a shop. I also should put on my fiber ring so I don't get yarn burn. This one glows in the dark, if you've seen that video. I also have really bad allergies right now. I think I'm just allergic to the world right now. Anyways, I was making these. I don't even remember what the story I was telling. Oh yeah, so my friends got really famous during the pandemic, and then they were like, "You should try it again." And so since I've reposted, I'm like, oh, this is actually like I'm getting an audience again. And that's perfect because Hollywood has collapsed. And I am deeply depressed. And I say that in my bio as a joke, but also I really did have a life altering kind of time in my life after the strike, the WGA and SAG strike, which I don't know if you remember that we were on strike for, I think, about 5 months. And it was really, really difficult because everything that I had worked for has now gone away. Like the career that I was working for, writing for television, is basically non-existent because the networks don't know what they're making, right? And everybody's cheap. And so there are shows that are being written and there are people that are writing it, but it's all of the high level rich people, all of the people that don't need the jobs and or are scared of not having the jobs. And I get that because it's all about self-preservation and everybody wants to like take care of themselves. But there's a generation of TV writers and even TV actors that are getting pushed out by like stars coming in and just doing the jobs. There's this generation of people that are just going to be wiped out that we will never hear about because of the strike. Not blaming the strike, but because the networks have been really greedy. CEOs were really greedy. They want as much money as possible. They don't care about the art. And so I was really at a low time, and then I started doing social media. And I have not figured out how to make money yet. Because this is the other thing that people don't understand. They're like, "Oh, you don't have a job." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't have a job, but the thing about being an artist is that you do make a lot of money in a short amount of time, and then you just learn to live off it." And so I've been a performer since I was 6 years old. My first paying job was when I was 6 years old. And I I've learned that you just have to be able to keep going. You learn how to survive. And one of the things is you learn how to squirrel away the money like a little squirrel and then just live off it and live cheaply and live well. But I think that I am now learning to actually live well in this time of unemployment because I'm now closer to my family. I get to see my family all the time, which I love. I spent 20 years away from home, so this is the first time I've really just been able to get to know my family as an adult. And so life just brings you where it needs to bring you. And I say that too because this is about to be, I think, a really challenging year for many people. And that's the other thing I do want to say about. I'm just going to lay this out in this long form video, anti algorithm, no editing, is that I am political just by who I am. I am openly queer. I am Asian. I I think that people want people like me to just be entertaining, and I did that for a long time. I did what I was supposed to do. I tried to placate to everyone, to every audience. But I think to have humanity, you have to understand the pain and struggles that certain political decisions um, how they affect people in the world that are maybe not you, or maybe your family, or people around you. And so I had this issue. I'm saying this because specifically because I had this issue where I posted a video about Costco. I talked about this on my social media, but I posted a video about Costco and saying that it was that I get anxiety because it gets really busy. And it wasn't political at all. But then suddenly it went to the algorithm that was like political and right wing. And it was right wing because they were saying things about my politics, even though I didn't say anything about politics. But they were like, "You're a Kamala voter. You liberals, you're so soft, right?" And so I withheld that bullying for a very long time. Like I was being bullied for like I kept that video up for like 2 weeks or something. And then I finally just took it down because I was just at a place where I was like, it doesn't matter. It's just a Costco video, whatever. I love Costco, and also what's funny about it is that Costco is one of the companies, very few companies and corporations that didn't donate to Trump's campaign. So I was like, I don't know why y'all are making it political and why you've claimed it. They also like DEI policies. They're not pushing back on DEI policies in the way like Walmart is. Um, I know some people have shut me off at this point. But all that to say, somebody messaged me, and I don't look at my messages, by the way. And that's also why I'm like, I don't know how you're going to send me pictures. I don't look at my messages. I'll tell you why in another video. I don't have time for it today. That's a whole other story. It's a very long story. But I noticed this one comment, and it was this person that was like, I'm a conservative mama, and I'm your follower, and I love you, but you cannot call those people right wing. Even though they were literally saying, like, attacking me for voting for Kamala and assuming that I voted for Kamala. And I was like, and she's like, okay, well, I'm just going to unfollow you if you keep talking that way. And I was like, first of all, you don't have to announce if you're going to unfollow someone. Just unfollow someone. You can block someone. You can mute someone. I do it all the time. Um, but the other thing is like the contradiction of somebody being so unaware of their and claiming that they're victims after like I basically said that I was bullied for a week and a half, like inundated with hundreds and hundreds of messages. Like they would come in waves and I would have to delete and block and delete and block. And she was like, well, don't call us all right wing. And I was like, girl, delete and block. And so I deleted and blocked. I did the job for her. So just to say, get ready because it's gonna be a turmoil of a political year too, and that's a part like art and sorry, crafting is political too. Art is political. Humanity is political. We're just trying to survive. This is the widest scarf ever, but look at the pattern's kind of cute, I guess. Um, so I told you about the theme, love, and I will say I would love to see I would love to see what you guys are making. Feel free to send it to me on social media. This year, I feel like we just need to hold each other accountable and have fun and live our lives well, live our lives together. Hopefully, I'll post this every week. If you liked it, comment below. Comment what you thought of this in general. Maybe I do need to put some edits in it and some flashy pictures and stock footage and stuff like that. But I think I'm just gonna keep making this scarf for this month at least, and this is what it'll be. And yeah, send me your pictures of what you want to make, or at least comment what you're going to make if you're not crocheting, because I would love to see, and I would love to see what your final products are. And I hope you had a good time at the first ever, I threw the sign too far. Craft Club! It's Craft Club! Kevin's Craft Club. I forgot the song already. See you next week.